Night in the Woods is a side-scrolling adventure that's all about the little things. Late-night diner adventures with friends, spontaneous rooftop stargazing, chatting about ghosts with the crust punks who hang out on the outskirts of town. Moments like these come and go, but thanks to earnest, heartfelt writing, a good helping of dry humor, and an unexpectedly serious backdrop, they also lingered in my mind long after they'd passed. Night in the Woods follows May, a directionless young adult who moves back to her hometown of Possum Springs after dropping out of college. May, fittingly depicted as a cartoon cat, has the initially charming reputation of being a delinquent, and seeing the way her sometimes embarrassing history resurfaces as she reacquaints herself with the town is equal parts endearing and heartbreaking. Frequent dialogue options let you affect the tone or direction of some interactions, but the most rewarding examples are the conversations that let you build out your own backstories. Playing a small part in filling in the blanks of May's life made me feel like I had a larger part in its telling. The way this largely character-driven game brings its cast to life through these mundane details makes it all the more relatable. Night in the Woods embraces a youthful frivolity with its sharp, sardonic dialogue reflective of modern 20 and 30-somethings. Its main crew's friendly bickering and antics are all the better for their avoidance of topical jokes and memes, which keeps their dialogue fresh and natural throughout. But for all its comedy and lightheartedness, Night in the Woods is capable of evoking startling sadness. When May's bad attitude and immaturity aren't fueling some fun or harmless prank, they're a frustrating indication of her refusal to grow up, a behavior that begins to unintentionally alienate the ones she loves. That realistic exploration of emotional and economic insecurity, particularly the inevitable dread of adulthood, veers effortlessly from ironic, self-deprecating millennial humor to frighteningly honest portrayals of very specific anxieties. A dark, central mystery adds some dramatic impetus to later acts, but it's at its most interesting when it's helping develop each of the excellent characters' personal journeys. The town of Possum Springs counts as one of those characters too, and it becomes vital in the grander story Night in the Woods does tell. Each day wandering its leaf-filled streets and eerie backwoods is a new opportunity to learn something about this small Midwestern-inspired town and the events that shaped it. May's obsession with a potential ghost sighting eventually leads her down a rabbit hole of bizarre old-timey mythology, from the stories a former teacher tells her about the constellations to local legends that exist only in whispers. But Possum Springs is haunted by more than just small-town superstitions. The memory of coal mining disasters, labor disputes, and government-sanctioned massacres still linger in the older townfolk's collective consciousness. As I learned more about the town's tragic history, the significance of even the briefest encounters began to weigh down with it. An ex-construction worker lamenting his unemployment, the startled disappointment of a favorite eatery closing for good, a crowd of older residents debating how to bring back business to their slowly stagnating town. Rarely have I seen the struggle and desperation of working-class middle America represented so thoughtfully in a game, and the way Night in the Woods weaves this unique disillusionment into an eerie mystery involving silly young adults is both insightfully critical and defiantly empathetic. While the core events leading up to its unexpected climax are a little unevenly spread out in its relatively slow middle acts, the tone, character development, and refreshingly adult subject matter were enough to keep me engaged the whole way through. Night in the Woods captures the fears and anxieties of being a young adult with surprising clarity, but brings it into new and interesting territory thanks to its developers' deep understanding of rural America's economic hardships. Its ability to swerve from the amusing hijinks of its vibrant cast into very real and very serious subject matter without feeling forced or unnatural was a pleasant surprise that kept me invested in its character drama long after I'd said goodbye to Possum Springs for the first time. But just like May, I know I'll be back soon. For more, watch the first 23 minutes of Night in the Woods, or watch a review of Celeste, another game with something to say. For everything else, keep it here on IGN.